Welcome to My Court Coach. I'm Jalen and I'm going to be your instructor as we talk about Form DV-170, Notice of Order Protecting Information of Minor. Now, the reason why it's called Notice of Order is because there is already an existing order protecting the confidential information of the minor. So this is supposed to put anybody on notice that has these files in their hand that there is an order protecting the information of the minor child. So it states the court has made some information in this case confidential. Details of the order for confidentiality are in the Form DV-165, and confidential information may be given only to law enforcement to enforce the restraining order, which is attached to the DV-110. So the documents that will be attached to this notice are the confidential information. The request for the Domestic Violence Restraining Order, so it should be redacted by the time this notice gets attached to it. The notice of court hearing, the temporary restraining order, and if there is a restraining order after hearing, then you would also attach it to this form. The request to keep the minor's information confidential, the order on the request to keep the minor's information confidential, and then a cover sheet for the confidential information that is going to be attached to this, and it's left blank, and then any other documents that need to be part of the request for the restraining order would also be identified here. So in the future, when you file any documents that contains any confidential information in this case or any other civil case relating to the minor child, then you must also use the DV-175, which we've now given them a blank copy of. And they have to see Form DV-165, which is the order that they will also have a copy of, for all information made confidential by the court. Notice to the recipient. So if you misuse or disclose the confidential information in this case to anyone other than law enforcement, you could be fined up to $1,000 for contempt of court or face other sanctions. So it's a very serious notice. And the instructions to the court is that when you provide copies of unredacted filed documents to any party, you must attach this cover sheet on top of the document or set of documents. Complete item 2 to indicate the forms that are attached. Now, what situation would you ever be in where the clerk is providing unredacted information? And let's say you're transferring this case from the family law courthouse to the juvenile courthouse and they need a copy of this information, then that would be a scenario where they can in fact release unredacted information, and whoever is transporting the documents from one courthouse to the next or one department to the next is also on notice that they are subject to $1,000 for contempt or any other sanctions. We hope that you have found this helpful, and best of luck.